Do safety issues keep you from starting van life, or do you worry about the safety of your loved ones who live van life? In today's video, I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks to keep you safe and secure on the road. Hi, I'm Katina with Gypsy Wander, and I live in my minivan with my dog Henry. When it comes to van life safety, it's a concern for both van lifers and their friends and family. It may surprise you that living van life is no safer or less safe than any other lifestyle. It's all about being prepared and being aware of your surroundings. So let's dive right in and make sure you are safe while you are living your best life. First and foremost, always choose safe parking spots. You have to be uber aware of your surroundings when you're parking somewhere for overnight. If you're in a city, look for well-lit areas. I know sometimes you don't want to park under lights because of sleeping, but there are ways around that. Light generally is good. Always park in the direction of your escape. So instead of pulling in forward into a parking space, back in. That way, if you need to leave quickly, you can easily just pull out without having to maneuver backing up out of a parking space. Find your space before it gets dark. Where are you going when it is night? You've been there, scoped it out, made sure that it's safe. I recently parked in a Cracker Barrel in Texas, and I was doing things outside my van soon after I got there, and there was somebody that walked across the parking lot that just didn't seem like they were supposed to be there. And as I was looking around my van, back through the bushes and trees, something white caught my attention, and it was like a clothesline with a towel or a shirt or something hanging over it. And you could see that the area had kind of been cleared, and it was, I don't know if it was a homeless encampment or what, but it was on the side of the Cracker Barrel that didn't get a whole lot of traffic. And I thought it was a perfect spot until I saw that. So I still stayed at the Cracker Barrel, went to a different side that had much more traffic, and everything was fine. But you want to be aware of your surroundings and look for no overnight parking signs. It's important to know that you are parking legally. And just because there's not a sign that says no overnight parking doesn't mean that it's fair game. If you park in a remote area, make sure you take notes of the roads you drive coming in. That way, if you needed to navigate your way out at night, you would be able to. Always lock your doors and windows when you are sleeping inside your van or when your van is unattended. I was one who, prior to van life, maybe if I was getting gas and I needed to go in and pay for the gas, or was going to go in and get something to drink, I wasn't real concerned if my doors were locked. But that's changed now that I'm in living van life, because everything I own is in this van. So I think of the security of my belongings a little bit different. You can also use blackout window shades. That way nobody can see you inside. And don't open the doors for anyone you don't know. People will impersonate police officers, security guards. You never know. So never open the door for someone you don't know. There may be some remote areas where you feel comfortable leaving your doors open or your windows down. I have mesh screens that'll go over my windows if I have them rolled down. And so sometimes you feel safe to do that, and you just have to be aware of your risks. I would hate to wake up to a raccoon pilfering through my van. I have left my windows down slightly at campsites when it's been hot, but generally I try to leave my windows up, and of course all of my doors locked always. Another important tip is to keep your valuables hidden. It may seem like a no-brainer, but sometimes we forget what people can see when they walk by our vans. And so don't leave expensive items left in plain sight. That's going to draw unwanted attention. So use hidden storage compartments, use lock boxes to secure your belongings, cover them up, or even use your window shades while you're leaving your van so that no one can see in. I have a hitch safe that I normally keep a extra key to for my van, but I can place a couple of credit cards in there, cash, what have you, but just be aware of what people can see when they walk by your van. Another thing I have is a fake wallet. It is full of expired credit cards, and I usually keep a little bit of cash in here. Oops, I must have used my extra cash, but I usually leave like a 5 and a couple of 1s in here. If anybody comes up to your window while you're stopped at a stoplight or something and demands your wallet, you don't want to give them your wallet. Give them a fake wallet, then you don't feel like you've lost anything. Staying connected with friends and family is critical for your safety and put your family at ease. Share your location and your travel plans with someone you trust. This way, they'll know where you are and can check in on you regularly. I use an app called Life 360, and so my parents and my kids always know where I'm at. Know where you are in case of an emergency. If you woke up in the middle of the night and had to call 911, where would you tell them that you're at? You may know you're at a Cracker Barrel, but do you know the address? And if you're in a part of the country that is experiencing severe weather, know what county you're in. You don't want weather alerts to start going off and saying you need to take shelter if you are in XYZ county. If you don't know what county you're in, it could be a danger. If you are in an area without cell service, make sure you tell somebody where you are and when they can expect to hear from you. That way, if that time goes by and they haven't heard from you, they know that you are probably in danger. Consider taking a self-defense class or carrying personal safety items like pepper spray or a personal alarm. I carry with me this birdie alarm, and it's on a keychain, and it also has a device that you can hook it on to something. And so I will carry that with me, and I'm going to scare Henry, but I'm going to show you what it does. So, sorry, Henry. It will catch somebody's attention. And the other thing that you have with you is your panic button on your keys. That is something else that will alert somebody. I carry with me, instead of pepper spray, wasp spray. And it shoots, let's see, up to a 27-foot jet spray. Now, some people say that's not going to deter somebody, that they can get that in their eyes, and it doesn't necessarily burn the same way that pepper spray does. But I think for pepper spray, you have to be quite a bit closer. And I never had to use it, but I feel better with pepper spray. I don't want to wait till they get close enough to me. And I can spray a whole lot of this in the time that they're approaching, that I'm pretty sure that I can come up with a plan or disable them with the wasp spray. Something else that I learned: if you need to defend yourself and you have a bat or a walking stick or table leg with you, you don't want to swing it at them. What you want to do is you want to poke or jab with your bat or your table leg, something solid and sturdy. And you want to poke like in the abdomen area or any other sensitive area. That's going to make them bend over, then hit and run. So just a little tip that I learned along the way. And also, trust your instincts. If a place doesn't feel safe, move to another location. Anytime you have that, that is your own personal safety system telling you something is not right, that gut instinct telling you you shouldn't be here. Be aware of what you look like. Don't make yourself look like a tourist. Blend in and don't draw attention to yourself. That's one of the reasons why I chose a minivan, is because I don't look like a camper van and I can easily blend in and be stealth. Also, be careful of who and where you're asking directions for. You got to be aware of who is around you that may be overhearing a conversation. Lots of people are curious about van life, and you may be having a conversation with someone and there's someone else eavesdropping, and they have learned that you are in a camper van, that you are not local, and maybe the person you're talking to, completely harmless, and they want to see inside your camper van. That's something that people are curious about, and that's fine. But you got to be aware of listening ears, because that person could easily follow you outside and watch from a distance and realize what valuables you have in your van. So just be aware of who is watching. And if someone sees you in your camper van, it might be wise to move to a separate location for your overnight stay. What I'm talking about is a lot of times I will go to a parking space, find a parking space and sit there and work. I'll have my door open and people can see inside. Most people don't pay any attention, but if there's somebody who just gives you that uncomfortable feeling, it may be wise to move to a different location just so that you have that safety. Also, don't advertise that you're a camper van. I know a lot of us like to put stickers on the outside of our van. I have my own Gypsy Wander brand sticker, and I don't even have that on the outside of the van. I'd love to, but it's too easy for somebody to say, oh, Gypsy Wander, what is that? Google it and say, oh, this is a single woman living in a minivan. I know now what her vehicle is, and I'm going to watch where she goes. So it's just safer to not advertise. Don't put your Instagram handle, your YouTube channel, what have you, on the outside of your van. It's tempting and you see people do it and you think, that's a great idea, I'm going to do it too, until something happens that you wish wouldn't have. Always plan ahead and have an exit plan. Can you get to your front seat quickly? We've already talked about making sure that you park in a way that you can just drive out and not have to maneuver backing up. That way you can leave the vicinity quickly. But what happens if somebody blocks you in? The time that situation has happened is not the time to come up with a plan of what you are going to do. So you have to be prepared. What would you do? Sometimes there's just no good solution, but you want to have thought about that just because you're less likely to impulsively act. Have a designated spot for your keys. Always, always, always keep your keys in the same spot. Always. You never want to leave your van alone in the middle of the night to use a restroom. So make sure you have a restroom that you can use inside your van. And there's all kinds of creative ideas for being able to relieve yourself inside your van. I have a collapsible toilet, and that was one of the deal breakers for me with van life is I had to have a toilet, and I use a collapsible toilet, so I always have it here. It doesn't take up any space unless I'm using it, and so always have a backup plan for a bathroom that you don't have to get outside to use. Keep your phone charged. If you don't have a power source within your van, make sure that you have a portable charger for your phone and make sure that it works. We've all seen the scary movies. Don't get caught without a working phone. In some locations, you might want to install motion lights. Now, these don't have to be mounted to your vehicle. They can be placed on the ground around your vehicle, or I have lights that will actually lean up against my roof rack, and that allows me to take them down and put them up when I need them. And finally, add a roadside assistance policy to either your insurance, your motor vehicle insurance, or I use the Verizon wireless roadside assistance. It costs me $4 a month, and it goes with my phone, not with my vehicle. So it's great if you are traveling with somebody and they have vehicle issues, that if I have my phone with me, I can use it for any vehicle. I just have to be there with my phone. So check into something that may be not the first place that you would think. Verizon wouldn't be a typical place that you would think to have roadside assistance. I haven't had to use it in a long time, but I have, and it will help so that you can stay safe. I hope these tips and tricks help you feel more safe and confident on the road. Remember, trust your instinct, prioritize your safety, and be prepared for the unexpected. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more van life content. Till next time, stay wild and stay free.